Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Probably just gentlemen. Welcome to round two of Fatch GT3 Season 6. We're at Silverstone today, world famous Silverstone, the F1 track, 3.6 miles. I am joined today by former champion Wilson Guiget once again. How are you today, Wilson?
Yeah, fine, and you? Hi, everyone.
Yeah, all good. So last week we had M. Williams on pole in the qualifying and bringing the race home comfortably. I believe the margin was about 50 seconds. So he was looking very dominant. Judging by the practice time sheet, maybe not so dominant today. A few drivers, Ligier coming back in the Lamborghini, was not in attendance last week. He might be able to put a challenge in. Any predictions before we get qualifying underway?
Um, I think it's not going to be an easy walk through the park for the Mustangs. Uh, Pretty huge POP ballast, especially for Williams. He has the extra win ballast, so I think it is going to be quite difficult to get the Mustang around this slow section, especially club and turn 3 and 4 of the F1 layout. Uh, so we'll have to watch out how he performs on the straight and what he decided to do setup-wise, prioritize straights or slow or speed corners.
Yeah, so the what we do at Fatch is the top three from the week before do get extra weight added to the car, P1 getting the most. So as we have Levi Warner also in the Mustang with a minus 4 kg added or taken away. We have M. Williams with a plus 16, so a big difference. Big penalty for finishing first, so we'll see how he manages that today. Might bring the rest of the field closer, that is the intention. As qualifying gets under the way, and I think it is Ligier out first for his flying lap. Ide just behind him. He's going to look to be getting slipstream. Bit cheeky. I think Ligier, I think, was Ferrari last season. Started in McLaren, switched to Ferrari. Performed very well. I think he did win a couple of races. Definitely one to watch out for. Not sure about that livery though. You know what I'm like with liveries. Looks like it's straight out of someone's Lego toy box or something.
You always have to roast the deliveries.
Yes, I think Williams got a bit conscious after we slated him last week and has changed the yellow.
Yeah,
The gold colour on his car does not like being likened to cat urine,
it is
which is
still
fair enough.
not gold, it's yellow now. So
Yeah.
uh, maybe a Jordan fan or Benetton fan, sorry. Yeah, Jordan Williams.
As we see DJ steaming down the straight, Ide behind him. Not looking for slipstream. So I'm sure Ligier will set the benchmark. So our key areas today, probably going to be the straights, and then there's the hairpin just before the straight, halfway through the track. Let me get my track map up, trying to identify these corners. So
I do expect though a comeback from Baslir as he's still in the learning phase of the Aston, and I think he'll improve through the race like he did at Watkins Glen. I think he'll do the same at Silverstone. Maybe it's practice more this track, so he knows more the Aston, he knows more this track maybe. So I think he'll come from uh, further up the grid. So maybe we'll watch for a podium position again this race.
Yeah, Baslia looked very impressive last week. Was very much off the time in practice and qualifying, but by the end of the race, I believe behind the race winner was the second fastest man on track. Absolutely stormed through the field to claim I think it
Free.
was P4. P4. Ronda took P3 just by
Yeah.
the skin of his teeth. As Ligier puts the car on the P4, but a lot of drivers are starting to surpass that
Yeah.
time. So
A
currently we
58.4
have,
from Williams
yep, and
already.
behind him is Warner. So two Mustangs sitting P1, P2, 5/10 different. Pell, who's also looked very quick at Watkins in the McLaren. Behind them, just followed by Ligier. Temengo in P5 currently. Ide is second down. Ronda already in the pits, not happy with something. Let's look at the change. Still plenty of drivers, 2 set laps.
Yeah.
One of them being, I believe, Baslia. Yeah. Baslia 2/10 up currently.
Nice
Still gaining
rotation through the
time.
chicane. Yeah.
Yeah. Gets those rear wheels nicely planted. Probably an invalidation there, perhaps. I think it is still good. 6/10 up now. Really is flying.
It I don't know how you see 6 cents up because it didn't set a time for the moment.
I've got a last lap. Must have been
Okay,
invalidated.
okay,
So
yeah,
that was a 2 minute and 2. He's currently 7/10 up on that.
okay.
Unless that is a bug.
We'll see as he comes through the last couple of corners. Cautious on the brakes, didn't carry that much speed through Brooklands. Nice exit. A little bit of grad, but that's okay. Shortest way up to the line, cutting the corner with a
59.2. That'll put him in P7.
yeah,
It's
7
already
tenths
a
of
10th up
Williams.
going in. A 10th and a half. It'll be 2 tenths by the time he gets to Maggotts and Beckett's. But he does
Yeah,
have driver in
traffic.
front of him in the 12 Ferrari, yeah. So this won't happen through Maggotts with the dirty yet. Brutal through that. He'll want to create a gap before he goes again. So 28 drivers on the grid. Nice
Pretty full
attendance
grid.
today.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch cops. Very narrow corner on the exit. People are going to get squeezed off. They shouldn't hesitate to go on the runoff from the outside. There's quite a lot of space. But it does get tinier again into Maggot. So we have to be careful at the start. People going free wide and then into the Maggot, it doesn't really fit well. We'll have to. It'll be a pretty busy start, I think.
It's quite interesting to see. For such a big track, there is a lot of traffic forming. Baz being followed. A slew of cars, but he won't want to move. 6.5 tenths up currently. This is looking to be a 59.2. Or there or thereabouts. Loses a bit of time.
59.8 for Ligier on his first lap. We'll see what he has to offer for his next.
So up to P8 for Baz with a 59.5. He's going to go back to the pits, maybe whack a fresh pair of tyres on, find some cleaner air. Warner
Very
has
good lap.
snatched provisional pole off of M. Williams. That's a 58.3.
And for now, he doesn't
Warner's
have an
gotten
answer.
into
He
him.
just crossed the line. Starting another lap.
Did push Williams all the way last year. Obviously, Warner only a reserve driver at the moment. Wasn't sure about his attendance this season. This might give him other ideas. Rondo currently sitting at P7, 7 tenths off the lead. Vasily P8, who's set up in P10. Had a really promising looking race at Watkins, but got a bit swallowed up towards the end. A few mistakes cost him and a spin. Obviously, story of last week was Ladva in the Mustang getting his first Fatch podium all the way up into P2, and it looked comfortable. Stayed out of trouble for 90 minutes.
His performance, he doesn't seem to be on it as much as he was last week. He's 2.3 seconds off Levi's time. It's not over. There's 5 minutes left. Maybe he will have something to say about it.
What tracks can do to a driver, where one might just completely click with you and the other you just can't get it together.
Yeah,
still a few drivers to set times: Minderhood, Van Vorst, Mark and Robert.
And James Francis set a lap time in qualifying. That's quite of a first. Usually
he's probably
he
tactically setting a very slow one though, isn't he? He likes to start at the back.
Maybe it's just practice. As Ide puts a very good lap with a 58.5, putting him to P3 just behind Williams, who's starting another run, his last. There's going to be 2 laps for him, with one being a bit slow because the tire pressures won't be up to the speed in the first lap. Maybe
very interesting.
Yeah.
More
Manga
rubber
is on the flying
lap by lap as well. Lots of cars out there, so it won't be a gradual rubber lay-in. It'll be pretty quick. Warner is currently in the pits. I don't know if they feel like that time is safe though. I think I've just seen this car drop. He might come out for another. Williams invalidating this one, so we'll have to go again. Yeah, Warner making changes to the setup. I think he's going to try and squeeze a bit more time out.
Maybe for a last lap, putting just enough fuel for the out lap and the push lap.
It's unfortunate for Jay Francis. Was 2.5 seconds up there, but does invalidate the lap. It's a few corners from the end.
Ide and Taminga are on a hot lap. We'll see what they have to offer. Maybe they can beat Williams' time. Maybe even Warner's. He isn't that much safe. 2.5 tenths and 3 tenths isn't a lot, especially on short qualifying sessions.
Yeah, he's going to try and go again.
As Taminga comes through the last corner. It's not enough for Taminga. He's going out for another. Pell is also not that far. 365 thousandths of Levi.
Taminga getting all squiggly and caught out of shape in Maggots and Beckett's. That's 2 tenths down. This will probably not be the lap for him. Ide is currently matching his time, but has only just crossed the line. So,
but no improvements for him.
He's just invalidated out of turn 1, I think.
Yeah, this is a very tricky corner to get around. You
it will come down to the last lap.
Yeah, you want to go on the power as much as early as possible, and sometimes it's too early. Get a bit greedy on the power.
Williams also 10.5 down. I think the more they push, the more the mistakes are creeping in. Sometimes smoother is faster.
It's over for Pell. He couldn't improve, so he went back to the pits. It'll be his qualifying done. P5 for the moment. Quite a big performance for him. Only 3 tenths down on Warner.
Yeah, I think he was another one that was quite high up at Watkins, but just had some trouble in the race. This will definitely not be the lap for Taminga or Ide. One more to go. Warner is currently matching his time. But again, I think that's invalidated. Yeah, it's still the invalidated lap. Williams trying to warm those tyres up one last time. Versterger is looking to improve. 1/10 up currently sitting at P10. With the McLaren, it's a new car for him this season. It's up to a 2/10 improvement now.
And Ide across the line. What we have to say about it? No improvement, unfortunately. That'll be P3 for him, unless Temanga has a better lap in the pocket.
Temanga currently 2/10 up.
Ooh, this is close to Paul. 2/10 up is P2 at the moment. Needs to find another 10s to beat bonus time.
We might find it here.
Yeah,
if
the
he
top
can get
guys,
the grip down out of here. He's almost 3/10 up on this lap.
Yeah, the top guys are still on laps. Ligier is still on lap. Temanga is still on lap. Ide is still on the lap. Williams is still on lap.
Ide is currently a 10th down. Anton Temanga still pushing 3/10 up. There or thereabouts. Very crucial exit here.
Baslier in his final attempt, crossing the line. Shortest and an improvement, 3 times improvement, puts him into P7, jumps Ronda, who is still on a flying lap, coming into the Wellington Straight, I think, coming down to Brooklands in the last sector.
I think Temenga's going to snatch this. Coming around the last corner now. He's flying out of the last corner. It's going to be over a 3/10 improvement, but the time is dripping away. This 2.5 time is ticking down. It's going to be just over 2/10 improvement. That puts him on P2.
It's a very good effort. Williams is just behind him, trying to set
Ide has stopped as well. He's aborted.
Yeah, Williams
will snatch it. This is 5/10 up for Williams.
Ooh,
snatches P1 with a 58 flat. That's a monstrous lap.
All position for Williams.
So many times we saw it. Last season we saw it. Last lap, winner takes all. So that rubber gets planted down. Very short qualifying, so that is often the case. So as we go,
good performance from Warner on his comeback and from Williams as well, fighting back towards the very end of the qualifying session, putting the car on pole by 2/10, nearly 3/10. That's quite a big gap, especially in the same car.
Pulled that out when it matters. Two, finding a lot of extra time. So the Fords, again, P1, P2, looking very strong. Ladva, unfortunately, couldn't make that a Ford top 3. He finds himself all the way down at P19. He'll be looking to gradually come up through the field. It's a 60-minute race. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
Milliston has joined the lobby. I think he struggles to get to the races on time. Milliston, very fast driver, member of the Velocity Esports team, finds himself all the way down in P29 starting. That's going to be quite dangerous for him trying to get through the field in a timely fashion. We'll have to be very smart about it.
Yeah, it might be a blessing in disguise, being able to back off at turn 1 and maybe jump 3 or 4 cars battling, especially at the back. People want to gain places. It's very competitive, even for the outside top 15.
If I remember correctly, Silverstone last year, we did have an incident going into turn 1. It was already quite a close title fight. I think there was contact between Warner and Baslia. And then all sorts got tangled up a few corners later. So, as you say, anything can happen.
Yeah, with Warner letting Baslia through later on in the race, which was a very weird move to do.
Yeah, I think the guilt got to him. But yeah, this will be an interesting one today. 29 cars on the grid.
Yeah, these are the tiny things you don't want to do in a championship when it comes down to the wire. Remember last year was that the last race. So every little mistake that you do early in the season can cost you a lot towards the end, especially in the title fight.
Yeah, he did end up getting a large penalty for it. He would have, but if he had stayed in his position, I don't think that would have put him too far down because he had gained so much time. It is just one of those things. Hindsight is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So it's the top 10. M. Williams, huge lap, 58 flat, followed by Levi Warner, 3 tenths behind him. Another tenth back is Temenga. And you have Ide. Those boys always seem to be there or thereabouts. Followed by Pell in P5, Ligier in P6, Baslier in P7, Ronda in P8, Van Vorst in P9, and Versterga in P10. Ronda says he hates Silverstone, but for me, this is a McLaren track. Always see the McLarens do pretty well around here. Ferraris, nowhere in sight. You got one in P3, special performance, and then the closest one all the way down in P11.
Yeah, they hold between top 10 and top 15. It's,
Yeah,
it's a Ferrari gang coming up
Paul
together.
Robert squashed in there between those Italian stallions. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting one. Korg is another one to watch out for if he stays out of trouble. He often just minds his own business and gradually gets through the traffic.
Yep.
All eyes on Baz, the most unluckiest man in Fatch currently. Just seems to get caught up in incidents that have nothing to do with him. So I'll be keeping an eye on Baz today. Let's hope he gets through safely, touch wood, as the cars line up. 2 mean-looking Mustangs on the front row. So where's your money after seeing that? Is it still Williams' favourite to take this one?
I have to watch the start because Levi is always an interesting person when it comes to the starts. But especially in terms of race pace, it's hard to keep up Williams. But remember last week he had quite a tentative start of the race. He found pace later on, but maybe it's an opportunity for Warner to catch Williams snapping and take the lead and
Yeah.
try to build a little gap, breathing room that will be shortened throughout the race for sure. Maybe Tamenga can pick up the scratch from that. We'll have to
Yeah, I
see.
think Temenga's got some work to do here. Obviously, Warner will have to stay wide because it's not like he's going to shoot. It's not like it's a Ferrari on pole that he can probably get the better of before turn one.
Yeah,
Williams should still be ahead of him going into turn one. And if Warner goes wide, then Temenga's going to want to pounce on that. But then you've got the left-hander into Maggots and Beckett. So who pulls out first? This will be an interesting start.
yeah. Tamenga will have to be aware of the Ferrari being very slow at the start, getting eaten up by the BMW behind of Ide and the McLaren of Perl might be getting him into trouble. It's quite a short run, but it's enough at least for Ide to get a little bit of a run, especially if Tamenga doesn't place himself right in the start. So you have to be very much on the line to have the upper end, the maximum upper end coming into cops. And he's on the
Yeah.
inside, so it's quite of an advantage. Sorry, um, I have to capitalize on that.
Pit stop strategy is also going to be interesting. It came into play
30 seconds.
quite prominently at Watkins. So there was some huge time gained or lost depending when they pitted. Let's see if the same happens today. Mustangs again will probably want to go 50-50 as the cars get ready to take their warm-up lap. So round 2 of our season 6 of the GT3 series. Williams again trying to maximise points to regain his crown. And off he goes. Boss, I will pay you to change that livery. For the love of God.
Every week, it'll be
I just
mentioned.
can't look at it, man.
I'm gonna have to join you on that. It's horrible,
Yep.
mate. It's horrible.
Let's get a little cup out. Let's go around and get some change. We'll chip in. Change that in livery, son.
I don't know the guy, but I'm sure he's a lovely person. But man, what the
I
heck?
think Boss is the kind of guy that'll just do it because he knows you hate it. So there's no change in that.
I love it. It's a great livery. Keep it.
Lots of colourful cars on the grid today. Another one to watch out for will be Middleton. I think a bit of a wild card today. No reason why. I think he's definitely got pace to crack top 10. Very quick driver. Only took part, I believe, in the prelude last season, and he did win that. It was a very close race, very close prelude between the top three. So they came out on top. So definitely a driver with pace to watch out for. Let's hope next week he can make it to qualifying. And also Pell, very impressive him. New driver to Fatch. Hutch saying this 12 kg ballast is horrible. It's not meant to be nice.
Yeah, you're too fast, mate. We need to calm you down a bit.
I think is that Hutch? I believe that's Hutch. Hutch B. Yeah, McLaren. That's gonna need slowing down around here, son.
Yeah, the McLaren really doesn't like the ballast. I remember at Spa having a very tricky race, despite Spa being a very McLaren track. I had a lot of trouble getting around corners. The car felt so heavy, and the straight line speed mostly was just very tough. I was as I was battling lead with Tourneur. It was a pretty intense battle because of this crappy straight line speed. So I do feel for the McLaren being added some extra weight from being too quick on the last race.
I don't know. I've got a feeling this is going to be a wild start to the race. 30 cars on the grid.
Yeah, Warner making already a statement, overtaking Williams by warming up his tires. Maybe a little message saying, I'm here, little friend.
Oh, he knows. Yeah, all mind games right now.
Yeah.
So whatever spectators have got the stands near Maggots and Beckett's are in for a treat. They're either going to see death or just incredibly close racing. So
yeah,
pure entertainment.
Get your glasses on.
Yeah.
There might be some debris.
Get ready to duck and weave. They come round the final corners. Temenga will be looking to maximise the start, get himself ahead of the Mustang, but then after Maggots, you've got that straight. Mustang's more than got enough in the tank to get past again. Someone's already taken out the polystyrene boards.
That's not very nice.
Who's going to forget the pit limiter today as well? Let's find out. As the cars approach the start-finish line and the lights go.
Green light.
Green, and we are away for round 2 at Silverstone. Great start from Williams, followed by Warner and Temenga, all keeping it clean on the inside. But here comes Maggots. Ide looks to take a sniff. Everyone looking to get through Maggots and Beckett's cleanly. Oh no, just as I say that, there's a spin, but nothing too serious.
I think they were aware of the risk of this corner, so everyone's being careful. That's what we want to see. As Ronda gets on the inside of Pearl, just manages to hold on. Pearl fights back right away on Ligier. Oh, Ronda on the inside, taking the curb, just avoiding Ligier.
really pushing. Warner looks like he's being pulled by a rope to Williams. The distance is just not changing.
Levi is holding on to Williams, putting a huge amount of pressures, looking for a way around
Williams
championship
holds the
leader.
line. I really think these boys need to work together here to break away from the pack behind. I think it's probably in their best interest. If Warner's got the pace here, hold on.
Yeah, I do not agree. Send it, send it, send it. We want to see
Temenga
fight.
off on the outside. Temenga's lost a position there to Ide. Ide's got through. Oh no,
Williams.
it's not Temenga, it was someone else, sorry. Yeah, no, Temenga's still okay. Temenga's still there. It was someone else. It was one of the Lamborghinis, I think.
I'm afraid James Francis is around with
Big
big
slide
amount
from
of
Warner.
damage.
Almost getting that nose on the inside. Really pushing.
That was the opportunity I was talking about. Williams having a bit of a tentative start of the race. Warner is trying to capitalize as much as possible on it. Temenga is in the hot pursuit, with Ide not far behind. A bit too far, but depends on what could happen. Yeah, Pell and Ligier having a huge scrap in the first lap.
I think Ronda's been caught up. He's down in P17.
Yeah,
So, issues for Ronda.
Yeah, he went too deep into the chicane of Club and hit massively the curb. Had to avoid Ligier.
Oh, wow.
As Meliston is in the wall.
Issues.
I'm not afraid Meliston is in the wall on the outside of Stowe.
Oh, yeah. That's big damage. Oh, that's huge damage. That'll have to be a pit.
Williams is great.
Putting pressure now on Temenga. Does go a bit wide in the previous corner. Loses the ground. Yeah, Warner starting to fall off the back of Williams now. Still very close racing. Ronda's off again with someone. I'm not sure what's happened. Yeah, Ligier is starting to push Pal. Touch wood. Baz has actually made it round the first few laps without getting hammered.
Yeah, Meliston is in the pits, obviously.
Yeah, huge damage sustained.
He will have to pit again as it's not in the pit window, unfortunately.
So Williams really starting to break and get comfortable, and Temenga starting to put pressure onto Warner. Ide has not gone anywhere either. He's still there.
It's going to be a close fight between these three drivers, 3 different cars, 3 different advantages. Strength.
Yeah, so top 4 all starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Fastest lap for M. Williams in the opening stages.
Latva making a couple of positions up to P17 now, just in front of Houston, trying to fight back. Draga, we have to follow this this lovely scratch between Draga and Bruce in P19 and P20. As it goes through the Wellington Straight.
Stop going for speed. That's Milliston getting caught out by the Fatch manual pit limiter. Might be starting to wish he didn't make the race. That's not gone to plan.
Yes, Dominguez is very close coming into the hangar straight. Will his straight line speed be enough? I don't think so.
I think that's a resounding no.
Yeah, he lost 2 tenths in this straight.
It's wild, even a slipstream.
Yeah.
See, track limits can be a problem here at Silverstone.
Yeah, there are few areas that can be risky. Turn 1, outside cops, very dangerous. Outside Sto also. Outside the club chicane also, when you're coming into the F1 pit straight.
Yep.
Sometimes with one tires you can be caught up in the understeer phase.
You
and
can
then-
also catch it in Maggots and Beckett's if you're really being wild and you're trying to not lift or steam through that corner. You cut the first right a little bit too much. Plenty of spots where you could pick those up.
As Boss and Colmus are fighting with Dragon and Bruce in the best watching positions you can hope.
As Robert goes for a move.
On the inside of Stowe.
Gets round. Yeah, gets rounded well. Very nice move there from the Porsche.
Brooklyn, sorry.
Baz up next for the for Robert. 1.7
Still
at the road.
Still a little scrap between Boss and Colmus. Yeah, Draga is round. He hit Boss on the inside.
Comos will have time for a quick breather. But Boz will be hunting him down. So Baslia looking to move up to P7, currently running P8, 1.2 back on Van Vos. Now this man will get quicker as the race goes on, as he gets more comfortable. It's inevitable.
Ronda with a move on Robert trying to fight back.
Everyone does definitely got some pace there. He can make his way back up that field quite comfortably. That's running strong in P10. Tomenka still tries to mount an effort on Warner at 0.7. The gap right now, and they've just entered the straight. So, probably going to keep gaining. Still only 2 seconds the gap between Warner and Williams. It hasn't extended at a massive rate. Even with the pressure that is on Warner.
Yeah, Perle and Ligier also are fighting quite a bit of each other. 5 tenths apart. They've been in this zone for quite a long time, 4 tenths now, across the line. We'll see what the wear evolves on both of these cars. Different wear, of course.
Wanda currently about half a second quicker than Robert in P11. Ronda will be looking to make a move this lap for sure as they go into Maggots and Beckett's. Baz just in front of them. Ronda looking very aggressive through Maggots, trying to find the exit. This might be the place to do it.
Very close.
Very close. Left nothing on the table. Switches back, maybe looking for the inside. Does go for the inside.
Thank you.
And gets it.
Very bold move from Ronda. It's very awkward to be this far up the inside. Still,
Will the Porsche go for it on the chicane?
Yeah. Don't want to move too much. Ronda
holds the position. Good move by Ronda to seal the deal. Powell still being chased down by Ligier. 0.6 the gap. So that's been like this for a fair few laps now.
Yeah, I think they run really good with each other. I don't know if Ligier is being held up by Pell and isn't finding a way past, but always good to have someone to chase. Keeps something to grind for. Yes, Temenge is doing the same with Levi, trying to stay within the second, within slipstream range, a bit out. I think you would need to stay within 7/10 to have a bit of slipstream. He's out of it now.
Yeah, once we go on to the straight after Maggots. Ide's still there though. Ide's got nowhere. To be fair, Powell's not too far back. We do expect the Mustang tyre wear to come into effect at some point, as always, as we spoke about last week. It is a big factor.
Yeah, as Mark is out of the track, big damage. I think he collided with Colmus. He was fighting with him, and it's nearly a toe. How much steering damage there is. You will be coming into the pits. I think you pretty much need to wait till the pit window opens. I don't know if it's I know
He's got
6
6
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, no, it's too long. I thought it was 45 that the pit window was opening.
Yeah, just a passenger now.
Yeah. Try to stay out of line, not.
That's alright. His
Get
bonnet's
caught up
almost
with
off the
people.
car there. That's some of the worst front end damage I've seen for a long time, like visually on a car. That's horrendous. As Ronda is indeed closing the gap on Baz. Give it a couple of laps and he'll be in the slip. If not right up behind him. Baslia holding a 2-second gap to the car in front of him. Temenga is starting the 10th by 10th slip back. I think now he's out of the slipstream.
Yeah, he's definitely
the power
out
of the
of the
Mustang on
slipstream.
the straights is really making the difference.
And I think Ide is coming back towards Temenge now.
Yeah. We did see this at Watkins. And Temenga pushed like crazy to try and catch a Ronda, and we think he did his tyres in doing that. He has a very aggressive driving style.
Yeah, in the
That
second
might
stint.
be what. Yeah, this might be what we're seeing now in an attempt, and in the dirty air, losing the stability of the car, maybe having an adverse effect on those tyres. Obviously, just because the race is shorter doesn't mean the tyre degradation is less. I think it matches the length of the race, regardless of the length. So.
Yeah, 60 minutes are pretty much the stints that you are doing in endurance racing anyway. So you have that graining phase by the pit stop time. For example, on the Ferrari, it's about 18 minutes into the stint, you start losing a lot of grip, and then you regain it towards the end of what will be half the race there. So you get that wear on the tires. You don't get it back, unfortunately. The stints are a bit too short if you make them 50-50.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if because it's 60 compared to a 90-minute race, if it has a 0.5 multiplier on the tyre
No,
wear.
it's not like in the F1 games where in 50% races you have half the tire degradation. The tire degradations go twice as fast. There you don't have it. It's the same tire wear that
Gotcha.
in endurance racing.
So Ronda now right on the back of Baz, is it 400ths of a second. Ronda could have the pace here today to get back in that top 5. I don't see why He can't. Be close.
Will Legion Pale going nearly side by side into Maggots and Maggots. DJ losing a bit of time sliding.
Yeah, it's so difficult to follow a car through that. Even side by sides, Mammoth. Ronda really cutting as much as humanly possible through Maggots. Needs to be careful. Those bumps through Maggots can really hammer the pressures in your tyre if you keep doing it. The engineer will be on the blow up in no time, telling you you're losing pressure.
Yeah, you don't want to go over too much over the curbs. I had these kind of problems. I had to calm down a bit, especially in Zandvoort. 6 punctures in 2 hours. Quite a bit.
It can happen. But you know, if you're always looking for that faster line, it is very hard to resist.
Yeah.
DJ still, the gap has not changed between him and Powell. Powell just needs to keep his eyes forward. Ile still holding a second gap to Temenga. Baslia has caught up to Van Vorst. 0.7 seconds. The pace is coming. 59.3 Baslia's last lap. Very consistent considering his fastest is only 5 thousandths quicker than that. Really finding his rhythm. And Semenga really making Warner work for that gap. 1.4 currently. Hasn't extended too much even without the slipstream.
I think Mark got the control disconnected because he went straight on, nearly hit Cormos. Just went straight on in the S's of Maggots and Beckett's and hit the wall like that.
Who's
Nearly
that?
got a huge crash, yeah.
Riches. Mark's still struggling.
Yeah, I think it's
I think,
hardware related. I think it's
yeah,
mechanical issues.
Yeah, because I think he's fixed his front end damage. It doesn't look as bad as it was before, but it's bad again now because of what's just happened. That's a real shame. Big battle towards the back of the field. P20 really is pushing. Ladva has damage. Draga has damage. Cork is just up the road with Bruce and Colmos. Draga does try to send it down the chicane. Oh, this is a tough corner to hold the inside. It's very hard to get right with that curb, but he does stick it on into Draga. It's a nice pass.
It's in this kind of situation where you can get a silly warning by going wide. I don't know if Latva got one. I don't think so. But you can quickly get
I would
away with a warning.
assume his line is compromised there and he's not making time, hopefully.
Yep.
If he's had some half-decent laps before. As the pit window opens.
20 minutes to make your pit stop. Fuel and tires. 30-second pit stop, basically. Without damage. Maybe more if you do have them. Ooh, Colmos is round at Brooklands, and Draga got caught up into as well. Bit of front damage you can see.
Got Robert, who I believe has just passed Baz. Ronda managed to get past Baz earlier. Robert has now passed him after that move on the Guel earlier.
I think it's a Colmos is retiring. Big damage. A bit. It'll be the end of his day, I think.
So a huge monumental news in the battle for P5, as after 20 minutes, Pal has extended the gap by 0.04 of a second. Huge margins to Ligier. We'll keep an eye on this one. It's been close all race. Wander up to P10 and now gaining on Versterger. But during all this time, Basilea has extended the gap further. Let's see how Basilea is getting on.
Yeah, he's fighting to get in the slipstream zone of Van Voorst. 0.2, 0.2 seconds improvement.
He's been at this distance now for a few laps. I think maybe the dirty air is not helping with the Aston too much. Might be relying on a bit of a messed up corner or a mistake from Van Voorst. Van Voorst showing that he does have pace.
Ligier Pal into the pit, sorry.
It's be interesting because the grid is very split. Let's hope he's timed that correctly and can get into South and Dixon clean air.
Ladva also is the first one to make his mandatory pit stop.
Ide has also closed the gap to Temenga. Now it's half a second. It was Ide having the greatest exit there for the chicane. Williams really starting to fly now. Warner obviously is a controller player, and as those tyres go off, it can be a bit harder to manage. Trying to keep that car planted.
You're a bit harder on the front tires.
Yeah.
And Levi is a bit harder on the rear tires because this is
He's a wild man, let's face it.
Yeah.
He's a wild man. There's no other way to put it.
He thinks because he has an American car, he's allowed to drift around. Ronda is getting closer to Versterger. Could be an interesting fight in a couple of laps.
I think Robert might be catching Ronda as well. Robert's showing some incredible pace moving through the field. Some nice moves.
Yep, indeed.
As that is now an official retirement from Millistan. Komos is still there. We have lost one other. I'm not sure who that is. Labba's pitted. That's why he's fallen back. Okay, so yeah, a few drivers have opted to pit early. One being Jay Francis. Unfortunately, he's been caught up in a few incidents down in P26, 6 laps back. Komos, Ladva and Pal all pitting. Everyone else still to pit. Temenga has come in. So we'll keep an eye on this. I believe he's about a second and a half back on Warner. And about a second ahead of Ide. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, on what Ide and Warner do. I'm fairly certain Warner will do that around the half-hour mark.
Yeah, watch out for that overcut. I think if I was in Ide's car, I would overcut Levi because he won't go too long because of the tires of the Mustang. I might do a little overcut to jump to Menga and Warner to see things in big perspectives.
I'm curious to see what Basilea will do. Obviously been stuck in the dirty air of Van Voorst.
He is a bit closer of Van Voorst, 5/10 at the sector 2 line. And he's way closer, he's now 2/10, 1/10 right in the back of Van Voorst coming into the last corner. Big slide, I think. The rear tires are starting to suffer on the Aston Martin.
Warner is in the pits. I think he's worried about the Temenga undercut.
Yep.
So he chose to match it. So we'll keep an eye on that. Warner does like to push his pits to the limit. Is usually pretty clean on them as well. So let's go to Tamenga. We'll see where he comes out. Ide has opted to stay out. It is Tamenga.
Sturger also
There he
made
is.
his pit stop, I think. Oh no,
Yeah,
Sturger
I
had
think-
the problem. Yeah, he's in the pit. He's in the pits right now, sorry.
I think he's starting to get chased down by a couple of cars before coming now. Maybe get some clean traffic. Won't have to look in my mirrors as much for a bit. Tamenga comes round the final corner. This will be very interesting to see if he's done this. Hutchby with a stop and go. Warner, with he's done it again. Incredible pit stop by Warner. He's 7.5 seconds up on Tamenga. So in that lap and the stop, has gained around 6 seconds. So great pit for Warner. Let's see if Williams will be able to match that, because the gap was about 5 seconds up, I think, between them.
Yeah, you can see also the power of the overcut. You lose so much time with the tires being cold. Get 2 laps.
I think we saw Tamenga lose time last week on this pit stop.
Yeah, maybe a bit.
Yeah, it might be an area for him that he needs to work on, or maybe just got caught up with traffic. I don't know.
Yeah, you can gain a lot of time with the braking into the pit lane, with the stop at your pit crew.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a button mapped to the ignition, you'll gain a second or two just doing that. There's lots of things.
This is a very important thing to do.
I didn't do it for ages and wondered why I was losing time all the time.
Williams
So
in the
someone
pits.
told me. Yeah,
The
so
leader
now we'll
is in the pits.
switch on to Warner to see how good his pit stop really was. I think Williams had a good pit last week. Didn't need it, but had one anyway. And now the big issue is that Warner also has three cars that haven't pitted ahead of him. I hope they all come in. I think Warner is going to pass Williams. Warner is going to pass Williams. What a pit stop that is from Warner. I don't know how he's done that, but he's gained about 6 seconds on everyone else.
And that's the lead. There you go.
That is the lead.
Maybe Williams was a bit too cautious with his pit stop. I'm sure he'll get this time back, but will it be enough? Half an hour to make... what's the gap? It should be 2 seconds maybe? That's pretty much what he did in a stint, so it might be close. He will be maybe pushing more.
Warner dropped off quite a lot in the 10 minutes before the pit. I think it was about 4 seconds back at one point. Yeah, about 4 seconds back.
But now you need to overtake as well. You don't have a clear track ahead of you. You get in that dossier phase that will slow your recovery, and then, of course, getting past. Catching up is one thing, overtaking is another. Especially Warner.
Now this could get really juicy. You've got 3 cars that haven't pitted in front of him, 2 of them very close, and there's 10 minutes still left on the pit window.
Has Warner managed to do an incredible pit stop, or did Williams mess up his pit stop, and will Ide gain a place on Williams as well? Because he's in that phase where it's going to be very close, because the gap was about 2 seconds between the two of them, and now the gap between Warner and Williams is 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, if Ide can match this, we could have a big shake-up here, because I'm going to assume Warner just had an incredible pit, because he's gained 6 seconds on 2 of his closest competitors in this race. If Ide matches that, that puts everything on his head. Ide will go into at least 3rd. As Warner comes round the final bend, we have a yellow flag. It's all clear. 59.2.
Yeah, no, Ide is way back. think
Yeah,
Warner just made it.
Temenga will get past. I don't know if Temenga will just to about get past.
Yeah, he got passed by E-Day. Maybe with fresher tires, they will have something to say about it. He's a couple of
Very
tenths back
interesting.
through Maggots and Beckett. Will be keen to make up time to get a good run onto the hanger straight. I think it's a good run. If he has a good straight line speed, it could be the overtaking done. It's a bit too far, I think.
He's done it. Oh, so
Yeah,
Ide gets ahead. Yeah, okay.
but he's still warming up his tires. We'll have to wait till he gets his tire warmed up. Temanga still have an overtaking opportunity coming into the Wellington straight. If he gets the first sector of the F1 track clean.
Temenga was quicker, just quicker for a majority of his stint. Ide did start coming back into it.
Yeah.
So this could be very interesting, and uh, Matt has made a little bit of time on Warner, but not a crazy amount. But
Yeah,
obviously his tyres still finding their temps.
Temanga has quite a good run. Maybe he will be able to fight. Uh, BMW has a good top end speed. No, that's not enough. He needs to get closer, force Ide into a mistake, which he does. He does his wide into the hairpin. Maybe we'll have a better run out of the outside, and
Oh,
they
it's a
collided.
spin.
Oh my god,
No.
that's
Ah,
unfortunate.
don't like to see it.
Yeah, when you fight, you get a bit too heated up and forget to look at your bumper. Right, to catch the replay to see who's at fault.
Yeah, please check that back.
Yeah, it's Ide coming across, uh, trying to get a better exit, and he runs into Anton. I feel like it's kind of his fault. Yeah, it's
Ah, it's a shame to see such a battle end in such a way.
just trying to have an official verdict on this. It's kind of awkward.
Meanwhile, Williams has picked up the pace and is close into a second of Warner. Are you still watching it back?
Yeah, I'm trying to
It
get
sounds like it's
different
a hard one
angles.
to judge. Yeah.
Yeah, because the track nature makes the two of them collide. That makes sense.
There looked like there was adequate room left as they both made the corner. I'm struggling to see how that contact was made just from that first little glance I had during the race. I thought there was adequate space there, and before you know it, car was sideways.
I think Dominga cuts across, yeah, on the outside camera of Ide. Yeah, I think Dominga just comes back on the outside a bit too much and cuts off Ide. I think get the onboard of Dominga. Yeah, you're trying to leave as less space as you can to get the better run. I think it's just a racing incident, to be honest, though.
Yeah,
It's going
fine
to be
margins at this level.
it's going to be a hard one for the stewards to decide because Temenge does opens up the steering a bit too much, but it's kind of the nature of the corner trying to get the better exit, and it's very fine margin. But yeah, I have to say it's Temenge's fault. It's not like a suicidal attack. Yeah.
I'm sure that one will go for the stewards. That'll be more work for them to do. But story unfolding right now is we do have the battle for P1 back on the table. 0.5 now the gap. Williams really starting to come back at Warner. Now he's got those tyres where they need to be. Warner not the easiest driver to pass. Does defend very well. Temenga's come into the pit. In P22, so I'm not sure what's happened there. That might be a retire. I think he's retired.
Yeah.
I believe, so I'm not sure what has happened there.
Yeah, I think the car isn't in the leaderboard anymore. That's a retirement for Anton Temenga, unfortunately.
So a 2-horse race at the front. And net position, that'll give Ligier P3, because he has got past Powell. 8 seconds gained. So maybe that was another supreme pit stop situation.
And Robert still didn't make a pit.
Net P5. Has he not? He's still got time.
No, yeah, Baz and Robert didn't make their pit stop as Williams is very close to Warner. Oh, Warner already breaking the slipstream. A bit nervous, I think. Of a nervous move. This in such a short straight, but trying to maximize everything. Yeah, with the traffic, Cerquera, I might be butchering this name.
Temenga has apologised to Andy Barney in the Discord. He is taking responsibility for the incident. So I think you were right on that one. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, Warner has a big run. Williams has a big run on Warner, trying the outside into Brooklands, late on the brakes, round the outside, carrying as much speed as you can. You have the inside, cuts across, trying to get the barrier exit on the outside. Warner has a bit
holding
of
on.
Yeah, very well done. Williams putting a huge amount of pressures on the race leader. The net race leader, I must say.
Yeah, it looks like he's smothering him now.
Very close. But 2 Mustangs, 2 beats in a straight line are cancelling each other out. One little mistake from Warner can get him in such big trouble. Yeah. Deep on the brakes maybe for Williams, trying the outside. No, not enough. Cuts back.
Oh, car around on the outside of the chicane.
Yeah, it was the McLaren of Hutchby, I think. Yeah, Hutchby.
Well, then Hutchby for staying
P24.
Out of the danger area, at least.
Pit window is now closed.
As the pit window closes, and now we have 20 minutes of straight racing to decide this one.
And yeah, with E-Day Temenga incident, Pearl and Baslier are in the P4 and P5, with Ligier having a big advantage over the pit stop, distancing Pearl from 9 seconds.
Drive through for track limits for the 315. Is that Riches to 315?
Yeah, it's Mario.
Yeah.
Watching.
But Baslier is right on Powell.
And I must direct you to the race lead. Williams is very close to Warner. We don't want to miss the overtake. It's a bit too far, but he's preparing, I think, the overtake for the hangar straight. Yeah, hangar, Wellington straight, I don't remember. For the straight towards So, after DSs. It's the hanger straight.
Warner will hold on, 0.5, very, very nicely through Maggots and Beckett.
Yeah. Nicely hooked
Just
up.
gonna check back with Baslia. Powell still holding it. Feel this will be a final position. Whoever can snatch 4. Ligier 10 seconds up the road. That'll be unobtainable. But Ide is coming back. So that damage he sustained, not crazy. He's still. I don't think he's lost much performance, if any.
And there's quite a bit of damage on the front, but on the series, always better to have in terms of damage. Baslia is moving around. Pell's mirrors, putting as much pressure as he can. Force Pell into a mistake.
The Aston's looking very good out of those corners. Not much slide at all. Oh, he's really pushing Baslia. So will be also playing into Ide's hands. Baslia for a split second thought about the lunge. Wasn't there. Is known for his patience, Baslia. Let's check back in with the leaders. Warner still holding.
He had a bit of a breathing room coming into Sector 2, but on the exit of the first sector of the Formula 1 track, he got a very bad exit into the Wellington Straight, and Williams managed to cut the gap back to 3/10 at the line. Big slide from Warner into Maggots, trying to get the car stabilized through Chapel, getting best exit as you can.
Yeah, Williams a lot closer this lap out of Maggots and Beckett's. I don't think it will be enough still yet.
No. But it's getting closer and closer each straight and leaving less and less breathing room between the corners. It's starting to get defensive into the chicane. This is getting very intense. Warner is under big pressure.
16 minutes to go as well.
As Baslia sneaks up the inside of Pearl. Pearl trying to hold on. Big slide out of Stowe. And holds on. As Williams on the outside of the slow section. Warner tried to cut back. I think switch back for Warner in place. I think he has the run. You're going to force Williams wide. But side by side, nearly side by side. Warner will have to stay defensive. Warner round the outside. Oh, they touched! Williams is nearly round.
Keep it on track.
They keep it on track. Yeah.
That's fair. That was Williams' space there.
I'm gonna check the replay to see who's to blame. I don't think it's that clear because
it's very
Williams
close racing.
Yeah,
yeah.
It did close the apex very sharp, and it's very close from the outside camera to see.
Check back in with Warner. Warner, Baslia. Oh, something's happened to I think Ide's past Baslia. It's made a move on Baslia.
Yeah.
Next on is Powell, but this could be try free for track limits for the 85. That is Hutchby running down in P24. But this could be a little blessing this for Baslia. I do like following two cars battling because one will get. Ide's absolutely pouted Powell there. I'm not a fan of that, and that's allowed Let's allow Baslier through. That's gonna be gonna be a penalty, I think, from the stewards. I understand you're in a hurry. That's not the way to do it.
Yeah, Williams did turn very sharp into the corner. I don't really want to blame Warner, sorry for this one, because he kind of took his line, and it was
Didn't
Williams'
give him any
job to leave,
options.
to leave space. Warner was still trying to take a normal line, and
Oh,
just before the contact, Williams turns very sharp on Warner, and he has way more space on the outside. Yeah, it's Williams' fault, so no penalty I think will be given because nobody got harmed, and the race continues between those two. Warner is trying to hold on. But it's very fair of Warner not
yeah. Well,
taking back P1.
if he keeps driving there, that's a full spin, and then the competition is dead in the water. It's a fair play to Warner for getting on the brake.
And Perl made quite a bit of a mistake, got passed by Day and
No,
Bastia.
he didn't make a mistake. Ide barged him off of the track, unfortunately. So that's another. That'll probably be a penalty-worthy incident itself, and that allowed Baslier to get through.
Sorry, I didn't follow.
Yeah, it was a bit of a battering ram move from Ide. I understand he's been shortchanged here with the incident with Temenga, and is in a hurry. Maybe a bit too much of a hurry. Baslier is still sticking with him. That's brought Van Vorst back into the fold also. As
Van
Ronda
Vos
has
is
found
having-
himself once again with Baz. Fighting for P10 currently.
I have to say Van Vos does a very solid race, no mistakes, keeps it clean, and then now he's in P7, taking advantage of people ahead colliding, having damage. Like Tamenga nearly Ide, nearly was Bastia up the inside, I think. Oh, that's a spin for Bastia, went on the inside of Brooklyn. Got a bit too greedy. Don't know what really happened there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have to check the replay.
But that's allowed Van Vorst and Versterger through. Versterger doing very well to be in the mix at this point in the race. 10 minutes left. As Digwell and Boss start getting the elbows out. Boss looking for a switchback. Digwell very aggressive. As Ronda does make the move on Baz.
Oh yeah, that's Baslier's fault. He sent it on the inside of Brooklands. Ide left the space. They still collided, which made Baslier go straight, went onto the grass and spun around, got spun around.
Yeah, Williams now starting to break away. As Cork looks to challenge Hussein for P15. And Robert, who's had a solid race.
Yeah, exactly the same race
P9.
as Van Vorst, solid, avoiding incidents and gaining a lot of position in the process. Van Vorst is getting the pressure on Perl. I don't know if he has enough space to get back in the 9 minutes left in this race. But
I think
P5
Perl
would be quite huge.
be a bit frustrated right now after the incident with Ide. This has not where he'll want to be. Silver lining for him was the Basselier incident. That will
Yeah,
give him the position back that he unfairly lost. Not
he needs
ideal for
to
Basselier.
stay close of E-Day. Maybe a penalty will be handed, so he needs to be at least in the 5 seconds. Maybe the 10 seconds will be enough, depending on what the stewards choose to give to E-Day. But he needs to stay in this area to maybe beneficiate on the penalty. I don't know if beneficiate is a real word. Take advantage of. That's more English, I think.
Doing fine. Yeah, Williams breaking free now. That will probably be P1 secured. Warner will just want to just hang about now, just in case. Right, my friend, if you would like to take over, I've got to order a kebab before the shop shuts. Important work here in the commentary booth.
I'm taking over as Ladva is very frustrated with the polystyrene sign, destroying the crap out of it.
That's just rude, isn't it? Really, that people will have to put those up, Ladva.
Yeah, alright. So I'll take over. Um,
Yeah, I'm still near the controller, so I can still change views. I just need to order
yeah,
my fuel.
order it as Van Vost get on. Van Vost is putting huge pressure on Pearl. Have a big run on the Wellington Straight. Very close between those two. Everything is getting more and more stable for Williams, picking up the pace. Levi might be struggling on his tires towards the end of the stint, as he did on the first 3.4-second gap. Ligier done quite a good race overall, coming back towards Warner with a 9-second gap. I think it was way
It was about
way
10
bigger. Yeah,
seconds, I think. Yeah, 12
but
seconds at one point.
he
But
managed.
then I believe that closed back down when Williams and Warner were fighting.
That's a good result compared to where he started in qualifying. I think it was P5.
Yeah,
With
it's
E-Day and
capitalised on the
Tomenga.
incidents in front. Done very well.
And yeah, big fight between Pell and Van Vost. Up the inside into the chicane. Van Vost tries to send it. Pell holds on right the outside. Try to cut back through club. And side by side through the right-hander. Big balls to stick it from Pell, but it's not enough to resist from Van Vost. Up to P5. Huge race from Van Vost. Oh, don't get too much on the curb there. Gasly are not giving up. 1.1 seconds to Verstappen, who is 3.4 seconds behind Van Vost from Pell. Yeah. 2.4 now at the line. Gaps are stabilizing towards the front, the top 5. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left into the race. As Gasly isn't giving up, right on the back of Verstappen. As they go through Copse corner just behind Van Vost, who is under pressure from Pell. Pell not giving up on this fight. Bit wide into Beckett. It's a bit of a shocker run through the hanger straight. And Bastier putting huge amount of pressures on Verstappen. As you can see behind. Up the inside.
Solid move. Or does he?
Ooh, yeah,
Oh,
Verstappen nearly
Verstappen
avoided.
looked to come back. We did well to realise that he had a Aston Martin blocking his line.
Pal wide. This is an opportunity for Baslier to come back. Huge invitation.
You're looking at, I think, 2 laps potentially. Yeah, I'm not sure where the leaders are on track.
It's 2 more
Yeah, so
laps.
2
Is
laps
coming around the final
remaining.
corner. Maybe Verstappen can follow Baslier on his comeback towards Pell. 2 laps is a bit short, I think, but I do count on Baslier to never give up till the end. And Pell making a few mistakes here and there can cost him a lot of time. And in these last sequences of the race, Baslier won't wait the second invitation to go up the inside or around the outside as you want, my friend Niels, to get that 6th place. The girl and boss fighting.
Yeah, 0.5 the gap. I think Boss went past him on that lap, judging on the timetables.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As Pell makes another mistake, Baslier is right in his back, trying, yeah, to stick on his regular line. Baslier trying to cut back for club.
And Verstappen sniffing behind him, ready
Yeah,
to pick up any pieces.
it's a good deal
Lots of
to be
traffic
behind
ahead.
Baslier. Yeah, Niels is trying to get out of the way of Androst, manages to do so. Now with this the Pearl and Baslier fight coming, you need to get out, Mr. Niels.
Usually is very obedient as a blue flag. This will
I
be where it happens.
don't have a doubt about
Right
it.
then, the leader is on the final lap.
Baslier is
The
a
final push.
bit far, he made a mistake. Didn't have a really good sector 2.
So 1 lap left now. That is Williams on his final lap. Looks like 2nd win in the row. And a very good step
Yeah, but watch for the
towards
switchback.
regaining his crown.
Baslier is very wide. He's gonna have a good run out of the final corner. This is the last lap of the race.
Yeah, this is where it'll have to happen. Probably on the big straight of the track. He'll have to stay as close as possible now.
It's a bit too far. Maybe for the next straight. Will the straight line speed of the Aston Martin will be enough?
This could be a
Not
chicane
quite.
job.
Yeah, if he gets a good run out of toe. Pell has a bit of a
Powell gets
compromise
a
line.
good run.
Yeah, still gets a good run. I think Baslier needs to prepare this for the last straight.
It's tough to get the line through the next ones in dirty air up to the hairpin before the straight. So it'll have to be
Yeah.
on
But
the
he's
ball
very
here.
close. He is very close. And doesn't need to do much to put Pell under pressure. Put him out of line. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. Out of line. Cut back through the right. Cut back through the left. That's what he needs to do.
This is the moment.
The leader has finished the race.
Have a nice traction. He is close enough. With the slipstream. Make his work.
It's going to be close.
Defending on the inside, Pell. Bastley are trying the outside. You can go very deep on the outside of Brooklands. He tries, but maybe PTSD of E-Day.
Powell holds
Tries
the
to
line
fight that.
very well.
Yeah,
Puts the car exactly where he needs to. Even being compromised, so Powell will hold on for P6. Will
As-
feel a little bit shortchanged.
as we didn't see, but
That's-
big congrats to Matthew Williams on winning this race.
Schumi giving him the friendly light flash at the end. Great race between those two. So story is Williams picks up his second consecutive P1. Warner, great result for him on his return to the GT3's P2. Ligier, quiet race from Ligier, but he did exactly what he needed to do. Picked up P3. Ide unfortunately caught in an accident with Tamenga, put him back, but a valiant fight back to P4. We will have to check back on that incident with Pal Van Vorst. Another one is Quiet Assassin worked his way up to P5, Palin P6, Bastley P7. Good result for Sturgate in P8. Robert with a fantastic drive in P9 and Ronda P10 on a track that he, I think, despises. Baz gets through a race unharmed up into P11, I think he finished. So yeah, that's the top 11. Decent race in there. A few scrapes and bumps. That will be left for the stewards. I think next week we are at the Nürburgring, and Wilson, it is our first scheduled wet race of the season. So
This
I
is going
expect
to
a
be an
wild
interesting
one.
one. Yeah, watch for Robert, because if he gets good practice on this track, Porsche is very good on the wet. So maybe
I'm going
a
to
top
make
5.
a prediction that we will not see a Ford on P1 next week. I think it will be a new winner next week. I don't think the Ford's built for those conditions, but we shall see. Especially at the Nürburgring, where there's only a couple of real areas you can get that engine roaring. So we shall see what's to come. So yeah,
E-Day.
Matt Williams P1.
I
Warner
do
P2,
see a good
DJ
performance of
P3.
E-Day on the wet.
Yeah, I think that might be the one for him in that Beamer. Just think the Mustangs might not quite be there, but I could be wrong. So, yep, we'll see you next week. We've got more racing in the GT4s on Wednesday. Be sure to tune in. I believe that one is Spa, 50-minute sprint. So be ready for that one. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Fatch GT. Thank you, Wilson, for
Thank
your
you, John.
co-coms. I'll see you next time. I think next week you're in, aren't you?
Yeah.
Happy days. See you all soon. Take care. Goodbye.